Friends, I am Dr. Surjit Ghosh. Welcome to my channel, Dr. Ghosh Presents. Top 10 Homeo-Remedies for bone diseases. What are diseases? What are common diseases of bone? Number 1, osteoporosis, commonest disease. Bone weak, brittle, breaks on slight pressure. About 50% of all people over 50 years in India and Bangladesh suffer from osteoporosis at any point of time. Women used to suffer from osteoporosis during or after climaxes. Want of estrogen is the reason here. Osteoporosis is a silent disease. Affected person never feel that they are ill. It is only after radiography they come to know about their disease. Osteoporosis is fully preventable. One can know the status of one's bone through bone density test, CT scan or ultrasonography. On the right hand side, the topmost picture is demonstrate the bony structure of normal bone structure and the osteoporotic bone structure. See how thin this is and how dense it is. And here the framework of bony framework of body changes in time. How it is changes in time has been demonstrated here. The starting point when the person is young, the whole structure is straight. As the time passes, generally it is going, it is slightly bent forward. It's going to be bent forward. Number 2, low bone density. Low bone density is also known as osteopenia. Bone density is calculated with T-score. T-score between +1 and -1 means normal bone density. T-score between -1 and -2.5 means low bone density. T-score -5 and below means osteoporosis. This T-score has been demonstrated here in graphically. This is normal, +1 to -1, then -1 to 2.5 low bone density, then 2.5 and more lower and lower presence of osteoporosis. The same picture is shown here above. Same picture. This is something else. This is healthy bone and this is osteoporotic bone. Another picture. Number 3, gout, a type of defect in metabolism where excess of uric acid accumulates as crystals in bony joints of body. Joint become red, swollen, tender and painful. Right hand side picture. Osteoarthritis, commonest arthritis. Chronic inflammation of bony joints, cartilage at the terminal ends of the bone get eroded. Bones start eroding. Pain, inflammation, swelling, difficulty in movement are felt, quite curable in many pathies. Rheumatoid arthritis, a type of chronic autoimmune disease where cells of immune system attack bony joints. Joints get inflamed, swollen, bones eroded, and joints become inoperable. In modern medicine, that is in modern medicines of allopathic medicines, it is incurable, but curable in classical homeopathy. Number 6, osteomyelitis. Generally, after surgical operation or infection of bone, osteomyelitis starts from infection of other tissues. Local pain, swelling, redness, lowering of body spirit, etc. are seen. Sometimes amputation of bone is done. Number 7, bone tumor. Bone tumor is formed when there is uncontrolled cell division in bone cells. Tumor may be benign or malignant. Benign tumor are manageable, but other type is almost incurable, that is malignant tumors. That is bone cancer. They are very difficult to manage. In the second picture is one bone cancer has been demonstrated in the second picture. Number 8, osteonecrosis. Osteonecrosis means destruction of bone cells owing to disturbance of supply of blood in the bone. You may wanted to know that bone also needs blood. Without blood, no cell in the body can thrive. So bone cell also needs blood. If this blood supply is stopped, then necrosis of that particular bone will occur. Necrosis means simply just destruction of the cells. It happens from severe injury to bone or intake of steroid for a long time. Scoliosis. 9. When the spine of a person gets bent on right or left, it is called scoliosis. Look at the picture on the right hand side. It is mostly seen in puberty and is considered as a familial disease. There is disease which runs through family. This disease is often seen, you can get this patient often, very common disease. Though primarily a surgical disease, yet remedial correction is possible if treatment is started in earliest. That is, the person's scoliosis starts after birth generally, not from the birth. After birth it starts, and when it starts, immediately in that period, that time, it can be treated with medicine, and that will be a cure also. But if a long time passes, then it is very difficult to be treated with medicine. Remedy. That will be difficult. Paget's disease. In Paget's disease, new bone formation occurs. Remodeling. It is called remodeling. Very fast, but mostly the same. That is, the bone is soft, large. Skull, pelvis. It is seen in skull and pelvis. Longer, taller. Thigh bone, tibia. This is something abnormal things. Paget's, that is Paget's disease, is seen predominantly in Caucasian males, and it is a familial disease. Look at the right side. What is the skull type? The skull is much bigger. The bones of the legs are much longer. This is Paget's disease. This is shown here. This is bones of legs. This is skull, huge skull, because of this malformation. How to prevent low bone density? Bone formation does not get completed unless one is 30 years old. So prevention must be started much earlier than one is 30. But it can be adopted at any stage. Steps good. Number 1. Along with daily food, drinks, enough calcium, vitamin D should be taken. Fish oil, milk, cheese, eggs, meat, green veggies, beans, small fishes with bones. These are all sources of calcium and vitamin D. Almost they occur simultaneously. Number 2. At least 2 days in week for 15 to 20 minutes one should sit in open sun. That is a very good thing. Beneath our skin there is some chemicals which converted into vitamin D on receiving sun's light. Sun. The sunlight means the sun. We call also ordinary. We call also sun. It is this. It should be some. The intensity of the sun should be a bit good. If that intense light falls on the skin, then below the skin there is a chemical called I cannot remember the name. That particular thing converted into vitamin D automatically. This is there in our body, but we seldom use it. Daily some workout should be performed so that enough pressure is exerted in muscles and bones. Pressure on muscles and bone actually activates the bone to absorb calcium and vitamin D. Shun all types of addictions. Pharyngite for bone diseases. Cracking in joints. Bone soft, bends easily. Bone takes a long time to unite. Guacam for bone diseases. Arthritic swelling about joints with pain in bones. Syphilis, bone erosion, get spongy, pressive pain in bones. Calcarea curve in bone diseases. Ricket, terminal end of long bone gets deformed and bent. Scoliosis. Long bone bent like a bow. Scoliosis, scoliosis I have already given a picture earlier. This scoliosis, see this young patient, his spine is carved on the right hand side. It is bent on right side. This is scoliosis. General exostosis and erosion of bone, tooth decay of children, and open fontanelle. This is open fontanelle. It is actually calcium metabolism deposition, calcium deposition in the bone is disturbed here. So calculator takes here a good steps here. Cornea maculatum for bone disease, lymph channel blocked, swelling of lymph nodes and their induration, injury and shock to the spine, coccydynia. Coccydynia means actually pain in the coccyx region. Coccyx is the terminal end. It is called tailbone of the spine bone. The whole spine column at the end point is called tailbone. A tailbone is also known as coccyx, and pain of the coccyx is called coccydynia. Patients sweat only during sleep or on closure of eyes. Prefers warm environment. Phosphorus for bone disease. Rachitis. Rachitis rickets, same thing. Necrosis of lower jaw. Exostosis of skull with tearing pain. Pain increases on touch and night. Watery pass from hip joint disease. This is hip joint disease. This is hip joint disease. Exostosis of tibia and clavicle. Fidgety feeling of patient. All trouble increase if lied on left side. It is a characteristic of phosphorus patient. They cannot lie on the left side. Silicea for bone disease. Inflammation of bones, swelling, ulceration, necrosis. Thin malodorous pus from opening of fistula. Edges of opening, swollen, indurated, bluish red, tender. Inflammation of fibrous part of the knee joint after injury. Tubercular necrosis of bones. Patients very chilly, wear woolly dresses, even in summer, but like cold foods and cold drinks. This is a peculiar thing. He is very much chilly. He wears woolly dresses, but like cold food and drinks. Calculated for bone disease, especially when fusion of bone is on the go, when bone is soft and spongy. Calculated for does a lot. Infallible for bow leg and ricket. This is bow leg. Look, the legs are like bow. Ulcer, erosion, fistula, opening of bones. Pain in sutures and symphysis. Sutures means this line of fusion of bones. These are called sutures. Also, fusion is same thing. Fusion of open fontanelles of babies. This is fontanelle. These are open fontanelle. Calculated for works magically in these cases. Sorinum for bone disease, pus secreting deep wounds in bone of pale, sickly, emaciated patient. Bodies of patient emanate intolerable malodor even after bath. Bath, B-A-T-H. They are highly chilly and weak. Want to eat, waking from sleep at midnight. Feel better when lying on or sweating. Other remedies, though well chosen, do not give desired result. This is always there in case of all nosodes type of medicine, Surinam, Syphilinum, Tuberculinum, Carcinosin, etc. The other remedies, though well chosen, do not give the desired result. Hecla lava for bone disease, osteitis, periostitis, exostosis, rachitis, osteosarcoma. I have given a star here because osteosarcoma is bone cancer. I do not know how osteosarcoma is curable, because osteosarcoma is very malignant disease. Patient very seldom lives. Almost all patients die prematurely in osteosarcoma. It is generally seen in the teenager persons. But in our book it is written that it can cure osteosarcoma. I write, if you got patient, you can try also. I have never get the scope. Hecla lava works nicely on scalp, jaws, bones of leg. A good remedy for teething problem of children. Savardilla for bone disease, feeling as if boring in the bone, as if cutting through it. Intense pain, all bones, intense pain all over, all over bones of all over the body, especially in joints. Sensation as if cut bone is being scraped by knives. With this, the video ends. Thanks for listening, viewing. Got anything to problem? Please write down in the comment section. I would certainly respond.